The night is thick, heavy, as if the world itself holds its breath. I sit alone on the edge of the hill, the weight of years pressing down. The wind whispers through the shattered trees, carrying memories I cannot shake. My hands are steady, though the scars on my chest remind me of fire and blood. 10 bullets still lie beneath my ribs, proof of battles fought in silence. I trace the outline of each scar, remembering the men I led, the 1,000 soldiers who faced me one by one. No one knows the hours it took. No one sees the cold precision required. The moonlight falls on my metals, dull and unyielding, but heavier than any chain. I think of the faces, the courage, the fear, the moments when life and death balanced on a knife's edge. The campfire crackles below. Shadows stretch like fingers across the valley. I do not move them, do not speak of what was done, yet the memories march past my mind like soldiers in formation. Each step, each decision carved in silence and steel. A storm approaches, but I welcome it. The wind carries the smell of gunpowder, of iron, of earth soaked in the history of battle. The hill holds my breath, the valley listens. The scars, 10 bullets deep, remind me that survival is a quiet art. I rise slowly, the night bowing to my steps. Every hill, every shadow, every echo remembers. I am alone, yet the weight of 1,000 men follows, unseen but never gone. In the dark, I walk the perimeter, careful, patient, knowing the power held in restraint. This is not victory, this is legacy. And the night waits, silent, as it always has, for the man who does not boast, who does not recount, who simply moves among the shadows. The first whispers of dawn touch the horizon. I pause, listening. 10 bullets, 1,000 memories, and a lifetime etched in quiet dominance. Dawn did not arrive softly. It split the darkness over the valley like a blade. The fog lay thick across the ground that morning. Below the hill, 1,000 soldiers stood in formation. Boots pressed into wet earth, rifles raised, eyes fixed on one figure above them. I did not move. Numbers have never impressed me. Noise has never shaken me. War belongs to the patient. The first shot came from the eastern flank. A clean strike beneath my shoulder. Heat spread through my chest, but I stayed upright. If I had fallen, their courage would have doubled. Instead, I stepped forward, slow, measured, precise. The fog wrapped around me like armor. I let them advance, wave after wave, stretching their own lines thinner with every command they shouted. Leaders fell first, not from anger, from calculation. Confusion followed, orders overlapped. Formations loosened. The second and third bullets found me as I shifted positions along the ridge. One lodged near my ribs, the other tore through muscle. Pain sharpened my focus instead of dulling it. By mid-morning, the fog began to lift. They could see me clearly now. One man, still standing. That image unsettled them more than gunfire ever could. They attempted to surround the hill, predictable. I descended halfway down, forcing them to tighten their formation. Compressed lines lose strength. The fourth bullet struck my chest. The fifth cut across my side. My breathing grew heavier, but my steps never hesitated. Doubt spread among them, and doubt is heavier than fear. Their shouting turned uncertain. Small groups began breaking from formation, glancing back toward the ridge. I used the terrain, rocks, elevation, shadow. Every movement placed them where I needed them. By afternoon, the valley no longer sounded like an army. It sounded scattered. 6 bullets now rested inside me, each one proof of their desperation. They began to retreat in fragments, not in order, but in instinct. I advanced just enough to prevent them from regrouping. Control must be maintained until the final breath of resistance fades. When the sun lowered toward the horizon, the valley had changed. The 1,000 who had marched forward with certainty were no longer an army. They were silence. I stood alone on the slope, blood warm beneath my uniform, breathing steady despite the weight inside my chest. The wind moved through the empty field below, and the hill remained mine. The night that followed was quiet, but the battle was not yet finished. The 10th bullet was still waiting. Night settled over the valley like a curtain pulled without sound. The wind moved through the empty field below, brushing over what remained of the day. Smoke drifted slowly upward from scattered fires. I stood at the ridge, breathing controlled, each inhale pressing against the bullets resting inside my chest. 6 wounds burned steadily, but the weight I carried was not pain. It was unfinished business. Retreat does not mean surrender. An army that breaks can still strike if allowed to regroup. I watched the tree line at the far edge of the valley. Too quiet, too still. They were gathering. Small units, what remained of them, reorganizing in the shadows. Not 1,000 anymore, but enough to be dangerous. I descended the slope carefully, boots steady against loose stone. The ground felt heavier now, soaked with the memory of the day. My vision blurred for a moment. Blood loss weakens the body, but discipline strengthens the mind. I adjusted my breathing and moved forward. A flicker of movement to the left. The seventh bullet struck without warning, tearing through my side. The impact forced me to one knee. For the first time that day, the ground touched my hand. But I did not stay there. I rose. They had expected hesitation. Instead, they saw persistence. The remaining soldiers emerged from the tree line in scattered formation, firing without rhythm, without unity. Desperation had replaced command. I advanced directly toward them, not rushing. Not reckless, just certain. The eighth bullet hit my upper chest, embedding deep. Air left my lungs in a sharp exhale, but my footing held. Distance closed. I moved between cover, using darkness now instead of fog. Each step reduced their advantage. Each second magnified their doubt. The ninth bullet grazed across my ribs, shallow but hot. My uniform was heavy with blood. Yet they were the ones stepping backward. Because I did not retreat. A commander does not surrender ground once claimed. The final exchange came near the tree line. Close enough to see fear in their eyes. One last soldier remained steady. Younger, focused. He did not run, he fired. The 10th bullet struck dead center in my chest. For a fraction of a second, everything went silent. No wind, no gunfire, no breath. The force drove me backward, but something stronger than muscle kept me upright. I looked at him. Not with anger, not with hatred. Just certainty. He hesitated. And in that hesitation, the battle ended. Silence returned to the valley. The last echo faded into the trees. I remained standing long after the noise had died. 10 bullets now rest beneath my ribs, each one a marker of a moment when resolve outweighed fear. The night accepted the outcome without judgment, and the hill remained mine. The 10th did not arrive suddenly. It moved slowly like a tide rising without sound. The stars above the ridge blurred, their light stretching into thin silver lines. My breathing became shallow, each inhale heavier than the last. Voices were near me now, low, controlled. Not panic, discipline. Hands pressed firmly against my chest. Pressure against the wounds, fabric tightening. Movement around me precise and urgent. I remained aware. Awareness is something you train into yourself. Even when the body weakens, the mind must stay sharp. Hold, someone said. I felt myself lifted. The sky tilted sideways as they carried me down from the ridge. Each step sent a quiet vibration through the bullets resting inside me. 10 pieces of metal, 10 reminders. The valley passed beneath me in fragments of shadow. The smell of smoke, the cold of night air, boots striking earth in rhythm, then light, harsh white above my eyes. A tent-canvas walls. Sharp scent of antiseptic cutting through the smell of gunpowder. Hands moved quickly. Scissors sliced fabric from my chest. Air touched the wounds for the first time. The pain arrived fully then. Not sharp, not explosive. Deep, endless. But I did not close my eyes. A surgeon leaned over me, his expression focused, unreadable. He pressed against the center of my chest where the 10th bullet had entered. "Stay with us," he said. I had no intention of leaving. The first extraction began, pressure. Pulling. A metallic sound as something struck a tray. 1 bullet removed, 9 remained. Time stretched strangely. Minutes felt like hours. Voices faded in and out, but I held on to one thing, breath. Inhale, exhale. Another bullet removed, then another. The world dimmed at the edges, but I refused to surrender to it. The 10th bullet was the deepest, close to the heart. I felt the hesitation around me. Measured discussion, careful hands. Cold instruments pressed into the wound. For a moment, everything stopped. No sound, no motion. Then release, a final metallic clink against steel. The pressure in my chest shifted. Lighter, but not free. Blood loss had already claimed its toll. My vision narrowed to a thin tunnel of light above me. Faces blurred, voices distant. I heard my name spoken once. Firm, commanding. I focused on it. The world slipped sideways. Sound dissolved into silence, and then nothing.